More wins. 2 more wins. And the Indiana Fever is headed to the WNBA Finals. Let that sink in for a second. The Indiana Fever only need to win 2 more games, and they will be in the WNBA Finals. And they stole the first of 3 today against the Las Vegas Aces, beating them 89-73. A very convincing win.
Officially, the WNBA is currently under a lot of stress. The finals are only 2 victories away for the Indiana Fever. Furthermore, no one saw this coming. The biggest underdog in the league simply bounded into Vegas, completely smashed the Aces, and left with a huge victory that made a statement. That so-called dynasty appeared out of nowhere. It is indeed wobbling.
At the Aces in Las Vegas on their home court with their home referees, the Indiana Fever pulled off this victory. And I feel like I'm one of the only people, or at least aside from the mainstream media, who truly thinks that the Indiana Fever can pull this off. Do you remember a couple days ago on ESPN, they were saying like the chances that the teams had to make it to the finals or to win a championship, and it was 5 teams: Lynx, the Aces, Mercury, the Liberty, and the Indiana Fever. And they had the Indiana Fever as the lowest chances of winning the WNBA.
Do you genuinely believe the Fever can pull this off? Then, 2 wins, really. Now that's all it takes. The Indiana Fever will formally punch their ticket to the WNBA Finals with 2 more victories. In every media outlet, the league as a whole rated this squad the lowest chances of winning a championship. The same franchise that has long been a source of humor. On their own home floor, however, they are making the mighty Aces appear quite vulnerable. And let's face it, this wasn't a fluke victory or a fortunate nail-biter. By a score of 89-73, Indiana easily defeated Las Vegas. With their own referees officiating the game, the A's were defeated by 16 points in their own stadium. The Fever didn't pass without any problems. They were in charge. They dominated the match, revealed every flaw, and made their point very evident. The fear isn't just a theory anymore. We sense.
Feel good. I mean, our group has seen it all. We wanted to come in and be the aggressor right away to make sure that we were dictating on the defensive end, and we were dictating from a pace standpoint. They're champions for a reason. We knew that they were going to make runs. They made a big one in the third, and we responded with a big one. I'm proud of our team. It's one game. It's a long series, so we got to keep the main thing. But to come in here and to be able to steal this one was big for us.
This brings to mind the pre-series plots. The Aces and Liberty were already locked in as the clear finals favorites on ESPN and all the other major publications. They made an attempt at Minnesota. They even considered the possibility of Phoenix. However, Indiana was thrown in as the squad that was having the most fun and was simply delighted to be there. The team with no chance at all. But you know what? The scoreboard is honest. The first away game of the series, which is also the hardest, was already won by Indiana.
Ability to handle a game where Asia is not able to dominate. Where would you guys rank your level of concern surrounding that, and how do you guys kind of fix that?
It's not necessarily my level of concern. I know we're capable, but not when we play like that. God forbid Asia doesn't drop 40 for us. But we had 12 assists tonight in 40 minutes, 12, and 12 turnovers. But you can start on the defensive end. Clearly we had no answer for Mitchell. Couldn't even attempt to slow her down a little bit.
A'ja Wilson is essentially the center of the A's identity. She is everything to them. Their safety net, their system. What occurs then if Wilson is constrained? Complete chaos. And in the game, we saw just that. Wilson had 13 rebounds and 16 points in the end. But here's the thing. She received 4 fast fouls and shot a terrible 27% from the field. She was forced to seem uncomfortable by the Fever's defense. Additionally, Vegas essentially collapsed when she was forced to sit. This is where things start to go crazy. The Aces were down just 3 points when Wilson was sent to the bench with her 4th foul. They were unexpectedly down 14 by the time she checked in again. That is a Fever run of 110, prompted only by Wilson's lack of presence. Really, are they truly a juggernaut, or are they just the Las Vegas Aces if your team disintegrates the moment a single player sits down? Indiana, meanwhile, appeared to be a true team. After years of criminal neglect, Kelsey Mitchell detonated for 34 points and was a plus 20 on the court, as she made three-pointers cut to the rim and destroyed every defender Becky Hammon threw at her. She appeared to be unstoppable. Since the Aces' perimeter defense was so poor, it appeared as though they had summoned 5 spectators from the stands and instructed them to protect Mitchell. Mitchell wasn't by himself, though. Odyssey Sims was outstanding. He finished with a plus 20 and scored 17 points, while managing the offense with remarkable poise. Indiana only signed this guy in August. But when it counts most, she's already setting the tempo, calling huddles, and making big plays. When Caitlin Clark, who is currently in her second season, regains her full playoff form, she appears to be the ideal backup. Sims doesn't become alarmed. She avoids forcing poor shots. She simply maintains the fever, which is crucial for a postseason series. Afterward, there is Aaliyah Boston. She only scored 6 points, so statistically speaking, she didn't attack, but her defense against Wilson was excellent. She fought every shot, maintained her body in front, and made Wilson make fadeaways rather than simple layups. Queen Egbo took over and played the same oppressive manner as Boston sat. Despite being shorter and weaker than Wilson, Egbo forced Wilson to work for every bucket and fought for every possession. It never stopped. What else was relentless? Do you know? Indiana's total work. Despite only scoring 6 points, Lexi Hall finished with the highest point total on the court, plus 24. Why? Because she does everything that Vegas just won't do. She lunges for lost balls, plays defense, blocks passing lanes, and makes exceptionally astute choices. Her influence cannot be quantified in terms of points. You can gauge it by the fact that she appeared to have an uncontrollable temperature each and every time she was on the court. What more was revealed by this game? An obvious flaw in the Aces. When Wilson isn't carrying them, they aren't made to live. Jackie Young scored 19 points. Take Wilson out of the equation and Vegas folds, even though Chelsea Gray had some moments. They get nothing from their bench. They falter in their defensive rotations. They lose their chemistry. It was wonderfully exposed in Indiana. Furthermore, we must not disregard the whistle. Wilson receives good calls, as everyone knows. Even though it's the superstar treatment, the Fever still body her up, played aggressive defense, and occasionally made the referees swallow the whistle. Boston didn't give up even though they ran the possibility of foul trouble. Egbo forced every perspective to determine their approach. They made Wilson play ineffectively. These teams' differences are striking. Basketball is a true team sport in Indiana. They trust whoever has the hot hand, move the ball, cut hard, and defend as a team. In contrast, the Aces play star ball. When Wilson isn't in control, they appear to be totally disoriented. Simply put, in a 5-game series, that is not sustainable. Let's now discuss the full-court press that Indiana employed. They haven't displayed it much this season, but in this game, it totally confused Vegas. Guards are pressuring the ball handlers, traps are approaching early, and Egbo is on the inbound. It revealed the A's poor guard play and upset their rhythm. Beyond Chelsea Gray, there aren't any outstanding ball handlers in Vegas. Kia Stokes and Jackie Young were shaken, and Indiana's pressure caused turnovers that resulted in easy baskets. Odyssey Sims is deserving of another mention for her leadership as well as her scoring. She was only signed a few months ago, yet she has already assumed a veteran position. When the Aces try to push, she maintains Indiana's composure by setting the pace, executing deft passes, and controlling the play. She has become vital for a player who wasn't even meant to be here. And it will be one of their best decisions if Indiana shields her the following season. In addition to all of that, the Fever have extraordinary resilience. Others took over after Natasha Howard had a strong first half and then vanished offensively in the second. Despite aerial power struggles, the team made up for it. Maya Caldwell had significant events. This is the true definition of depth. Another player will emerge if the first one falters. That luxury is just not available in Vegas. The Fever didn't win by chance. A blueprint was what it was. Wilson should not be older than 20. Maintain your defensive discipline while launching a relentless offensive assault. If you do that, Indiana will prevail.